The silent language of spirit, decoding synchronicity for divine guidance. Have you ever experienced a coincidence that felt too precise to ignore? A moment where everything aligned so perfectly it stopped you in your tracks? A song playing at the exact right time, a message arriving just when you needed clarity, a person appearing in your life right as you were questioning your direction. At first, we call these moments luck, chance, timing. But deep down, we know they feel different. They feel meaningful. This is what's known as synchronicity. Not random coincidence, but meaningful connection. Moments that seem orchestrated without any visible cause. The psychologist Carl Jung describes synchronicity as an causal connecting principle, a way events can be linked not through cause and effect, but through meaning. In other words, life speaking in patterns instead of words. This isn't superstition, it's awareness. It's noticing that life doesn't always move in straight lines. Sometimes it communicates through symbols, through timing, through unexpected intersections. And synchronicity doesn't only appear in dramatic moments. It shows up quietly, finding something you thought was lost right when you stopped searching, meeting someone who changes your path on an ordinary day, opening a book, hearing a conversation, seeing a sign that answers a question you hadn't spoken aloud. From the mundane to the miraculous, these moments remind us that life is more responsive than we're often taught to believe, that beneath the surface of routine, something is listening, something is guiding. Not everyone notices synchronicity in the same way. Some people move through life without ever pausing to observe the patterns around them. Others recognize signs everywhere. The difference isn't luck, it's awareness. When you're present, when your attention isn't constantly pulled outward, when your mind isn't rushing ahead, you begin to notice subtle nudges, a thought that repeats, a feeling that lingers, a moment that asks you to pause. This is where intuition lives, not as something mystical, but as an internal compass, a deep, embodied knowing that doesn't always come with explanations. When you trust that inner voice, you become more fluent in the language of synchronicity. But discernment matters too. Not every coincidence is guidance. Not every pattern is a message. Confirmation bias can quietly shape perception. When we want something badly, we can begin to see signs everywhere. This isn't intuition, it's anxiety looking for certainty. True guidance feels different. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't pressure you. It feels calm, grounded, consistent. It invites reflection, not reaction. And when you learn to tell the difference, your inner compass becomes clear. There are moments when life seems to answer you, not with words, but with patterns. The same message appearing in different forms, the same idea resurfacing, the same theme repeating. A book, a conversation, a song, a chance encounter, all pointing in one direction. This is often how the universe says yes, quietly, consistently. Synchronicity becomes especially visible during moments of decision. When you're standing at a crossroads, questioning timing, weighing possibilities, clarity begins to arrive from unexpected places. What once felt random reveals coherence, not because everything is planned, but because alignment creates order. And sometimes there is no logical explanation, only knowing, a feeling that something is unfolding in your favor, even before you understand how. This is where trust deepens, not blind belief, but openness to mystery. Synchronicity doesn't appear because you chase it. It appears when you become receptive. Presence creates space. When you slow down, notice your breath. Stay connected to your body. You become available to subtle communication. Life doesn't compete with distraction. Journaling supports this awareness. Writing down meaningful moments, unusual timing, repeated symbols, helps patterns reveal themselves. Intention matters too, not as demand, but as clarity. When you set intentions with an open heart, without attachment, you communicate readiness. Clear desires create direction. Open hands allow movement. And underneath all of this is surrender. Trust. You do your part with honesty, with awareness, with integrity, and you allow the rest to unfold. When effort and trust meet, synchronicity flows. Not as something you manufacture, but as something you welcome. When you begin to trust this language, life shifts. You stop feeling alone in your journey. You sense partnership. Relationships deepen. Decisions soften. Timing becomes meaningful. You recognize when to act and when to wait, when to pursue, and when to release. Spiritually, a quiet confidence emerges, not certainty, but trust. This is co-creation, not control, but cooperation. And within this relationship, there is something personal. Your patterns, your symbols, your timing, they are shaped by you, your history, your values, your dreams. This is your cosmic fingerprint, a private conversation between you and life itself. No one else will receive the same messages in the same way, and that is intentional. Because guidance is most powerful when it speaks directly to the soul listening. When you learn this language, life feels less like something to decode and more like something to trust.